Hi, this week we were given a PowerPoint of strategies by Dave Hopkins, and we were to pick 5 strategies and go over what research supports this strategy and also if this would be good for a non-English speaker, limited English speaker, or fluent English speaker. The first one that I chose was the vocabulary handoff, and this is where a student is given a new vocabulary word, and the teacher first models the target language, and then the student-teacher model it, teacher-student model it, and then students are teaching each other. I think that this is a great way to introduce vocabulary because students have multiple opportunities to understand and get to know the word and see the word modeled before they are expected to independently do it themselves with peers. I think Vygotsky would support this strategy because it allows students to interact and develop socially. And I would use this strategy in the classroom to share new vocabulary with limited and fluent language learners because the strategy allows students to practice oral language and social skills while meeting the content criteria. I would also do this with non-English speakers, but I would give them the opportunity to see and understand the words and even maybe come up with a sentence for them ahead of time and coach them on the words before class to kind of ease that anxiety. And so as the class is learning a new word together, that they're learning the new word for the second time. And I think that that will help with anxiety. Partial dictations are great. Again, this is a strategy with the Dave Hopkins. And this is good for students to be able to fill in the blank, have practice with sentences and dialogue. Vygotsky again would support this strategy because it allows students to interact and develop socially. I would use this strategy to share with non and limited language level students because it'll help them grasp conversations, help social development, and increase peer interactions. And so because they're just filling in the blanks here and there, they're not expected to come up with that whole sentence by themselves. So this will hopefully increase motivation to interact and speak with peers and give answers and opinions. This is also completions is another one that I chose. Most of these have to do with peer interactions, and I have most of them supported by Vygotsky for social interactions because of that. Completions is a great way to use in the classroom to help limited and fluent language learners organize nonfiction text. And I have this supported by Maria Montessori. Would support this strategy because it allows for students to look at information from multiple points of view and then give their own opinion based on the evidence. And I say this because as they're reading the nonfiction text, they could say, experts say, people think, one idea, it is common, usually, and then finally, in my opinion. So after you've read the text and completed the sentences, you're forming your own opinion based on evidence. And I think that this is a great way for limited and even native language speakers to organize their thoughts and opinions for nonfiction text because that can be a problem in the classroom. You want people to be able to organize their thoughts in a way that they can communicate them. Elaborations. I work as a pair for students with special needs, but I work with all students in the general ed classroom. And elaborating, give me more details. Tell me more about your fishing trip. I'm going fishing. Okay, what color is your pole? What are you fishing for? Where do you go? Please just add to your story. Add. This is something that I struggle with a lot of students. Add more details. So this is also a good strategy I would use in the classroom to help students elaborate on their thoughts and opinions, their writing journals, and personal essays. This encourages students to add more details to their stories, work together, and become better writers. This would also be a good strategy for all learners, non-limited and fluent, and again, even native English speakers. because you're always trying to get kids to add more detail, make their stories more interesting. I said that Vygotsky would support this strategy because it is helping students to grow more confident in oral language conversations and social development. Savannah, I'm recording something for class. The last strategy that I have, and I have to get to a birthday party, so I'm trying to get through this. Savannah, I love you. I'll be right there. The last strategy that I have is dialogue. This is write your own dialogue. Make it as real as you can. And the example given was, let's eat breakfast at my house tomorrow. That sounds good. What do you have? Writing your own dialogue and adding dialogue to encouraging students to add dialogue to their stories. Again, this is a great use in the classroom. I would use this strategy for non-limited and fluent learners to practice oral language and natural conversations. I often encourage students to add dialogue to their stories, personal essays, and story summaries to add detail and make their writing more interesting. Again, I say Vygotsky would support this strategy because it supports students' social development, which is so important for all students, not just ELL students, to learn social cues. And that's very true, learning social cues for all students. Sorry, I'm distracted because I have to get to my daughter's birthday party, but I hope that you enjoyed my PowerPoint presentation, and thank you for listening.